It is 6:12 p.m. Your apartment looks wrong. One lamp is missing. Half the books are gone. Elena stands beside the kitchen counter with a small bag near her feet. She places an apartment key beside a folded piece of paper. Your phone vibrates. Direct deposit received. Plus $8,216.34. Through the fold in the paper, one line is still visible. Annual base salary, $148,000. Elena looks at you. You always say we're doing well. You look at the deposit. Then the salary. You open your mouth. Nothing comes out. 3 years earlier, the answer felt obvious. A recruiter slid a white folder across a glass conference table. You opened it. $148,000. Your old salary was $91,500. In the elevator, you sent Elena one message. $148,000. 3 dots appeared immediately. Are you serious? That night, the offer letter sat between 2 glasses at a small Italian restaurant. Elena touched the number. We can finally breathe. You smiled. Finally. You never calculated the paycheck. The biggest number already felt like the truth. 3 weeks later, Marcus noticed your old messenger bag near the office coffee machine. Marcus was broad-shouldered, perfectly groomed, charcoal jacket, silver watch. At your level, he said, you can't keep looking like you're waiting for a raise. Saturday, a leather bag sat in front of you. $487. You hesitated. Your checking account had $2,106 until Friday. But your mind didn't compare $487 to $2,106. It compared $487 to $148,000. The bag suddenly felt small. You tapped your card. Approved. A month later, Elena showed you a newer apartment. Floor-to-ceiling windows. 11 minutes closer to work. Rent, $3,480. Your old rent was $2,150. Is this too much? She asked. For a second, you felt the extra $1,330. Then your mind found $148,000. I think we're fine. 2 Fridays later, your first full deposit arrived. Plus $8,216.34. You stared at it. Smaller than the life you had already imagined. You locked the phone. The number on the offer letter still felt more real. And without noticing it, you began spending from money that never entered your bank account. Monday, 6:18 a.m. Your phone vibrated before the alarm. Rent paid $3,480. In the shower. Auto payment, $573. While coffee brewed. Auto payment, $573. In the elevator. Student loan, $612. At your desk. Insurance, $388. You had not bought breakfast. By the time ordinary life began, $6,430 was already spoken for. At lunch, Marcus showed you a black SUV. 72 grand? Marcus shrugged. It's not 72 grand, it's $1,100 a month. 3 months later, he tapped the roof of that SUV. You work this hard, something should show for it. That night, you opened your refrigerator. Chicken. Eggs. Half a bag of spinach. Food existed. Energy didn't. You closed the door. Your delivery app already remembered the last order. Order again. $46.82. 1 tap. Long day. Thursday was another long day. Then Sunday. By the end of the month, long days had cost $1,086. Nothing felt reckless. Every expense had a reason, and every uncomfortable number became small beside $148,000. Then Tuesday arrived. 9:08 a.m. Meeting, conference room C. Your manager was inside. So was human resources. A white envelope rested on the table. Your position is being eliminated. The sentence took 11 seconds. The job took 6 years. At 5:14, you carried a cardboard box into the parking garage. Inside it was the folded offer letter. $148,000. For the first time, the number looked old. At home, you opened your banking app. Checking, $9,814.22. Savings, $17,406.80. Credit cards, $13,782.16. Elena stood behind you. How is that possible? You stared at the screen. I made $148,000. I know what you made. A pause. I asked what we have. Sunday, 11:48 p.m. The apartment was dark. You opened checking. $9,814.22. Closed it. Opened it again. Same number. Then the calendar. Rent in 4 days. Car payment in 6. Student loan in 9. Back to checking. $9,814.22. The number had not changed. The meaning had. 2 weeks later, you sat in a tire shop waiting room. Repair estimate, $418. An employment folder rested on your lap. 3 chairs away sat Calvin. 67. Thin gray hair. Work boots. Faded brown jacket. Grease beneath one thumbnail. Bad week? You laughed once. Went from $148 a year to 0. Calvin watched a mechanic roll a tire across the garage. A salary is the number they announce. You looked at him. Your life runs on the number that survives. A mechanic called his name. Calvin left. That was it. But the sentence stayed. A few days later, Marcus called. Do you know anyone hiring? You stopped outside a grocery store. What happened? Silence. Then, my wife thinks the mortgage cleared. Marcus. I moved it to next Friday. His SUV. 2 cards. A personal loan. The mortgage. Household income, $213,000. We make over 200 grand. He said the number like it should make the confession impossible. You looked at your phone. $148,000. $213,000. Different numbers. Same habit. A $487 bag felt small beside $148,000. An $1,100 payment felt small beside $213,000. But payments don't leave annual salary. They leave what survives. The system had a name. Income anchoring. The biggest number became the loudest number. And the loudest number started making decisions. After 103 days, you found another job. $132,000. $16,000 less. Your first feeling wasn't relief. It was embarrassment. You almost said no. Elena sat across from you. We need income. I was at 148. She looked at you. There is no 148. You took the job. Your first deposit arrived, plus $7,491.18. You followed the money. Rent, cars, loan, insurance, everything already waiting, before food or fuel. $735.18 remained. You looked at the folded offer letter. For 3 years, you had compared purchases to money you never received. The salary was real. Your interpretation was not. You sold 1 car, canceled the premium gym, removed the delivery app. But financial commitments left slower than they arrived. One Sunday, Elena stood near the apartment window. We stopped doing things because we wanted them. You looked up. We started doing things because they matched what we said we were. Successful. You looked at the apartment, the furniture, the empty second parking space, the leather bag. You needed $148,000 to be visible. A week later, Elena opened a suitcase. I need some space. The sentence sounded temporary. The suitcase did not. The next evening, 6:12 p.m. She placed her key beside the offer letter. Your phone vibrated. Plus $8,216.34. And now you were back where this story began. The apartment looked wrong. Elena looked at you. You always say we're doing well. Now you understood. You had used one number to answer a different question. $148,000 told you what a company agreed to pay for a year. It did not tell you what reached checking, what was already promised, or how long your life survived when the paycheck stopped. I thought the salary meant we were ahead. Elena looked at the key. I know. She picked up the bag. The door closed at 6:19 p.m. You remained. So did the key. So did the offer letter. For the next month, you watched money arrive, and old promises take it. Deposit, rent, cars, loan, cards. Again. Your income never entered an empty life. It entered a line of previous decisions. 6 months later, the lease ended. You moved into a 1-bedroom apartment. Rent, $2,180. Not because smaller was better. Because $3,480 had become a payment to a version of you that no longer existed. During packing, you found the offer letter. The crease ran through. $148,000. You remembered the Italian restaurant. We can finally breathe. You had been looking at income, not what survived. Your current salary was $139,500, lower than the old offer. Friday. Your phone vibrated. Direct deposit received. Plus $7,864.62. Fixed commitments, $3,971. The deposit was smaller than before, but more of it still belonged to you. You sat at the small kitchen counter. The old leather bag rested near the chair. The offer letter sat beside your phone. You unfolded it. $148,000. For years, that number told you what your life was supposed to look like. The apartment, the cars, the bag. You folded the paper. Not carefully this time. You placed it face down. Your phone screen went dark. The apartment stayed quiet. A big income gets dangerous when identity spends it before life can use it. Your salary never proved you were ahead. You just kept using it as proof.